Cameroon amongst the top 10 African countries owing the International Monetary Fund heavily. I'm talking about heavy debt. But the problem here is that they are struggling to push the burden to the common people, and they have done it, reflected in the 2025 annual budget that was just recently voted in Cameroon. But Cameroon is not the first. They are not owing the highest. But the little they took, the government of President Bobia took, they distributed it amongst themselves. And now they are pushing it to the common people to pay because of the pressure the International Monetary Fund is putting on the government of President Bobia. If this is your first time joining TFA Talking Point, please subscribe to our channel. I keep on saying that the only way to pay this money is for the government of President Bobia to reduce government expenditure, to cut government expenditure. And one of the things that I keep on telling the government to do is that they have to reduce the convoy of ministers and even president. And secondly, all government officials, starting from President Bobia right down to the least person in a hierarchy, is supposed to pay his or her rent and bills. They are taking the highest salary, but they are not paying bills. They are not paying rent. They are not paying anything. They are using everything actually free, but they are pushing the money they distributed among themselves to the common people to pay. The first country with the highest is Egypt. Egypt is owing $9.45 billion. The second by Kenya, owing $3.02 billion. Angola, owing $2.99 billion. Ghana, owing $2.25 billion. And Ivory Coast, that is Cote d'Ivoire, owing $2.19 billion. Others are the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, South Africa, Cameroon, and Senegal. Why I am talking and emphasizing on Cameroon is that you are looking at it here that Egypt is owing the highest, but Egypt took this money from the International Monetary Fund and used it to better the life and the living standard of the citizen in Egypt. They did not embezzle all. The same with Kenya, the same way Ghana, South Africa, and Ivory Coast. If you look at the living standard of a citizen in this country, you discover that it is a little bit better compared to Cameroon. But the government of President Bobia and the entire minister, they took this money and distributed it amongst themselves. But when the International Monetary Fund came asking them the money, they pushed the burden to the common people. This money, if you ask them, they borrow it to improve infrastructure in Cameroon. But in Cameroon today, there is no road. There is no drinkable water. There is no electricity. They are saying that they took this money for the betterment of the people of Cameroon, but they took the money, distributed it amongst themselves, and the little left, they gave it to the military to go and fight in southern Cameroon, killing innocent people in the name of they want to enter the Anglophone crisis military today. Then what can we do as Cameroonians? There is nothing we can do because they have our brothers that they are using them against us in the name of military and the police. So there is nothing we can do. But what we are saying here is that the government of President Bobia, the first thing they have to do to pay this money is to reduce government expenditure. That is the first thing. If you look at how these government officials, parliamentarians, senators, those in position are using government money, you will cry. It's just as if it is something found somewhere or lost but found money that they are, because they care less about it. They are extravagant lifestyles. Government has ministry, and all those ministries are having conference hall, but they prefer to have their conferences in Hilton Hotel, paying it at the detriment of the common people. You see one minister having convoys just from Douala to Yaoundé for a minister. They spend not less than billions for one visit, and up to the point where Cameroonians prefer that ministers should not be visiting for no good reason. They are visiting, And when they are visiting everybody, they spend the taxpayer money, and then they also reduce productivity because nobody in their department will be working. If it is the Ministry of Public Health coming to Litora or going to Bamenda, all public health, all hospital, all doctors, they will not be working on that day. They will go to visit to receive the minister at the detriment of patients who are lying in the hospital. And this is where TFA Talking Point keep on talking. That if you look critically, the money they borrow, they misuse the money. And then in the course of misusing the money, they are killing and reducing the productivity in Cameroon. Because if it is the Minister of Agriculture coming to Mebubuya, you discover that all farmers will allow their work to receive him. And that the day that they could have been working, they will allow everything to receive the Minister of Agriculture, including workers within the ministry. Convoys all over, spending at the detriment of the taxpayer, of the common people. And that is why I say the first thing to do is to reduce the government expenditure. If this is our first time joining TFA Talking Point, the only thing you have to do is to subscribe to our channel. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Share the videos, because we are sending out a message that can better the life of Cameroonians. That is the first thing we are doing, and our priority. And the only way to reach many Cameroonians is for you sharing this video. Thank you very much.